map out little bandwidth areas, low delta bandwidths, make them differential bandwidths, go down very close and look at it. And we could begin to make a rationalization. If we get enough noise discharging fast enough and cover enough frequencies, we have things in there which are going to do lots of summation. Very nonlinear, so those summations will lock together. You'll have some zero summations in there. So you can make a reasonable argument for the possible existence, and I accent the word possible, none of this is proven, of sudden scalar waves, at least in certain bands. The bands may be random, and they may be changing back and forth through the whole region on an absolute, very rapid, random basis. It's after all noise we're talking about, noise summation. So if that's true, something like that is going on, then what we're doing, we're getting at least some parts of very fast changing scalar wave. Well, there's some nice equations in the book already that show that the rise time, or inversely the fall time, of such a wave, that you get effects, the sharper the change time. And here he's trying to be as sharp as he possibly can discharge this huge potential that he's built up. So he's meeting the criteria. If you wanted to, let's have a shot at it. If you wanted to have that kind of process, and so let's see what happens, and let's shoot it lots of times and hunt around in here and see if we don't occasionally get some effects. He's actually doing the sort of thing that one would lay out to say, well, a shotgun approach, that's probably the way you can look at it and see if you get any kind of effects. You will have to then go on past that and rule out, very carefully such things as magnetic levitation and et cetera. If you can then separate and show clearly that the effect you have is none of those things, or else those things are minimal compared to the effect that you're actually getting, then you would begin to be on a good experimental basis to say, we are now getting some kind of levitation effect. It may not be controlled because of my sources are noise sources, so they're randomized. The changes that are giving me the scalar bands are random. But every once in a while, conditions would get right and I ought to get levitation. Well, as a matter of fact, the gentleman does get something that looks exactly like that. The other thing he gets is he gets extraordinary breaks in metals. I have seen some of these metals are broken. I was particularly interested in what I call the shingle effect in some of the breaks that he has done, and particularly aluminum, which demonstrated quite well the fact that the thing would split like, it reminded me of the people who used to make baskets and would carefully, with their drawing knives, split out long strips of nice hickory and then weave baskets out of that. The metal would actually split into an array of strips like this. I know of absolutely no other effect. It may be one that somebody in this room knows of, but I don't know of one that will give you that kind of a break from a distance of so many feet, using sudden electromagnetic discharges in a metal. So I thought that was something that was, to me, very anomalous indeed. But of course, again, a professional metallurgist would be the fellow you need to bring in here and look at that. But it seemed to be very anomalous to me what he was doing. So I saw things in the experiments which certainly resemble the kinds of things that I would have suggested would be the one way to go in there with equipment you could put together from surplus equipment and scrap equipment and have a go at it to see if you can get the gross effect. Now, he's certainly getting effects, and I'm very cheered to find something I didn't know till very recently, that an independent laboratory had actually done rigorous tests on some of the metals and found significant changes.
And if that is of any interest to you, I can give you the Max Planck Institute report.
Because that, of course, is the kind of thing that you've got to have done, applied to it to show that, yes, indeed, you do have enough evidence here to show you're very probably getting what is clearly an anomalous effect. So more of that kind of thing is what should